Monday morning quarterback, Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson, shoelaces flopping in the wind, goes all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
On the Big 1050 WTKA.
And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at the big1050.com. I had to grab the mic over here. We are watching some tape. We are watching some plays.
Watch a little film.
Watching all 22 for you people. Wish we could show it to you. You know what I think I'm gonna do with Borges this week.
Get some good
I think we're gonna do a film study this week, folks. I think we're gonna do a film study.
I might have to come in on that. I need to jump in with you.
You want to come? You want to come in and do the film study with us? Lace?
Might need to come in.
I think we're gonna do an offensive film study this week because you got some folks taking liberty with what happened on offense this week, and I don't think that they're speaking from a position of knowledge. They're speaking from a position of emotion. Mm-hmm. And so I think we need to lay some knowledge on them, Lace.
Yeah, lace them a little bit with some knowledge.
Lace them with some knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Can't do it every week with the film study, but I think we'll do it this week.
Okay.
So all right. I think we need to break it down. I haven't even laid that on old gorgeous boy, but he's been chomping at the bit. He's been chomping at the bit.
I texted him last night and he was ready for me. I mean.
Yeah.
He was excited to give me some good knowledge, and watching that game film, man, you could tell that he, some things that need to be coached up a little bit.
It was. There were some things left on the field.
Left a lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I think the way that they wound up winning the game, it wasn't. As far as game plan is concerned, wasn't necessarily how they planned it.
Right.
But they won the game.
Yeah.
Which is the objective.
Yes.
Denard Robinson.
Yes. And so I tell people all the time, as long as you win, it's easy. It's easy to coach after winning. Yeah. After a loss, it's kind of you get a little, you salty a little bit. So it's easy to coach. It's better to coach after a win. So I feel like the mistakes in the meat that we left on the bone, that's easy to correct it. I mean, there's some things that could get cleaned up, and then we ran the ball well. That's been the narrative. When we win games, we run the ball well.
Yeah, man. The Monday Morning Quarterback is brought to you by our friends over at Golden Limousine. All across the country, Michigan rides on Golden, and you can too, from Detroit to Ann Arbor and beyond. Join the teams, businesses, and communities that trust Golden for safe, professional transportation. Visit goldenlimo.com to book your ride now. So, Lace, we talked about the passing game taking a step forward in the Washington game.
Right.
Fair to say, obviously did not take a step.
Not
take a step forward in this game.
Yeah.
Because we just said, hey, the objective is to win the game. You can get obsessed as a coach. You can get obsessed with it looking a certain way. You get obsessed with your stuff and say, hey, I want this play to work, or I want this guy to get his stats.
Right.
Or I want the passing game to work, or you can say, I want to get the W.
Right.
And they said, I want to get the W.
Let me get a W. I mean, everybody liked the James Winston, dubs, you know what I'm saying? Eating the dubs. So I think with this situation, it's I wouldn't panic because the things that's there, it's easy to correct, and those are the things that could easily be corrected. It'd be like, hey, this is the read that you have. This way we go with the ball. These are the right decisions. These are easy things that could be corrected. So I'm not nervous about this because this thing's just, once you see it, boom. Because he's going to start seeing a lot of it. And I'm talking about the nickel blitzing off the slot. That's going to be a big thing. We're going to start seeing that bit because you gotta have an answer for it. And we didn't really answer that question this weekend.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. Denard, because that wound up being a big thing in the game.
Right.
Almost led to a turnover. That's the subject of a lot. Sparty think that was the difference in the game. Look,
Yeah.
They had opportunity. So let's say.
So
let's say
that's a momentum change.
Let's say that Michigan, if you say Michigan got one on Michigan State, there, I don't agree. Right. I think his head was in the neutral zone.
I
but
thought
okay,
so too. Yeah.
I'll concede for a moment, for the sake of argument, that Michigan got one. I mean, that wasn't a scoring play. Michigan had to drive the rest of the way, and they didn't stop. I mean, Michigan went on to score a touchdown.
Yeah,
they didn't stop them the rest of the way. So cry me a river, right? But Lace, that nickel pressure was something that got him the whole game. So my question to you is that at what point in your quarterbacking career were you turning protections? Because the issue clearly was they were turning the protection the wrong way. So is that something that your center is doing, or is that something that your quarterback is doing?
So the nickel blitz, the nickel corner blitz is one of those things that your quarterback will have to see, because as a center, he can't see the slot guy. He can see the box, so he could control the mic and the wheel situation. But when you get outside of the guy that's on the slot receiver, that's the difference. Now that's the nickel Sam, nickel Will, whatever it is. You got to be able to say, hey, either the tackle gonna tell me, hey, he's coming, or the slot receiver's gonna tell me. The center he's no longer in charge of that, because it's so far out of his sight. Mm-hmm. So he can't see that. So now your quarterback got to be the guy to do that. And I think for me, it started happening for me in my sophomore, junior year. And I credit this. I had David Moak as a center, and he won the Remington, so he was one of the best centers in the country. So it's good to have one of those guys be your vet. When you first come in, he's one of those guys can be able to say, hey, Denard, you should probably sit in here. The safety, if you see the safety doing this, I won't be able to see that. And David Moak did a good job of preparing me for hey, if you see the safety, they doing this, hey, start watching film and see the safety coming down, and he's topping the nickel Will or the nickel Sam, whatever you want to call him, and you see him coming. So he's trying to protect us. He said, you got to have an answer for it. Either you're going to RPO, throw the bubble, and with Rich Rod, we threw a lot of bubbles because I seen it. I started seeing it. And with Coach Borges, we set the protection to that. Mm-hmm. And so that's the difference between, understanding, having an adjustment, and having an answer. And I think the biggest thing right now, you need somebody to start helping him understand, hey, because they had an answer for it every time it came, that he just got to make the right decision and make them wrong.
Yeah. So sometimes experience is the best teacher, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. He's a young quarterback, and these are the things that he's gonna start seeing. I have faith in it, because they have the answer. Chip Lindsey has the answer in there already for it. So that means he's already teaching it. It's just now you got to be able to see it on the fly.
Mm-hmm. So now, coming out of this, maybe that's an additional responsibility, turning the protection, right. And then, obviously snap cut, because he was almost timed up perfect. Almost timed him up on that snap count. So, playing games with that a little bit more, right. And then turning the protection.
Yep. So,
because he gonna see that.
Oh, he gonna see it a lot. And now once you start seeing a lot, and then you start making them pay for it, then you won't start seeing it anymore. It'll disappear real quick.
Yeah, because you're on your own. Yeah. If you don't turn the protection, that's your man.
Yeah. You gotta have an answer for that. Trust me, I've got caught on that a couple of times. But I always, majority of the time, I had an answer for it, because it's all right, if I know he's coming, I'm gonna try to fade away from him and throw throw it up, throw it to the guy that's over. Most of the time, the slot guy is gonna be your guy, and that's probably gonna be Samaj or good with.
So the passing game as a whole, though, people are breaking it down. It's like, man, they had this vanilla game plan, and they aren't throwing passes, and we'll break down the stats. This is the thing that I love about Borges, that he does for our slate of shows. He charts the game. You know, he charts the game to give us stats. So I'll give you the charting stats, but one that is pertinent for our discussion off top is the RPO stat. I look at it every week.
Yeah,
because this is a comfort zone stat for Bryce. That is one of his plays that they can call that, you know, he is gonna execute at a high level. They're gonna move the ball, they're gonna run it, they're gonna throw it. That's gonna be a high percentage play for them, right? And he's going to run it right. He's been reading it right at a high clip all season.
Right.
They caught 16 RPOs in this game. He threw one.
Only one.
He threw one, Denard.
And it was there. It was there. But I don't know if he wanted the running backs they wanted to show that they could run the ball. I don't know what it was. Like, it was a couple of RPOs that it should have been not even poked in the running back's stomach. Just go ahead and flip your hips and throw it out there. So it was one of those things I was trying to figure out what they said, just give. I'm trying to understand that one because it was kind of tough to see.
Yeah, so, you know, at that point, you know, as his position coach,
right? You
know, how do you get him comfortable?
You gotta tell him just make the throw because those type of RPOs with the bubble and things like that, it's gonna get you 10, 15 yards because now the safety's at a depth. Well, he can't really make a play, and if he get a block on the corner, the receiver block the corner, you out the gate. You got that safety's in trouble. He got to close the distance from for 15 yards back, and try to make a play on a shifty receiver. That's tough. It's tough ass.
Because there were a couple of them. There was that one bubble that it was like it's gonna get yards.
Yeah. It was emotional. He mostly Samaj over. He could have just threw it.
Yeah, and then there was that one. There was a pressure coming, and the edge was blowing inside. That was another one that was going to get yards.
Both Reeds told him to throw it.
And so, you know, when you see that as a play caller, you know, I'm curious what the process is.
You got to. I'm pretty sure coach is telling him, hey, you got to throw those. Like you got to make them pay. You got to make them pay. Although we had success running the ball, you got to make those guys pay because now it's going to loosen up the box for them, for the running game, for the running backs. So make the defense play defense. If you don't make them play defense, they're going to start stopping what you do well, and that's run the ball. And if they get more people in the hats in the box, we're in trouble. So you got to make them. You got to make those numbers right. So the numbers was right for him to throw it, and sometimes he didn't throw it. So that's something that you got to. When you got the numbers, you got to make them pay for it. The numbers in your favor when you throw the ball out there. You got two receivers, gets two DBs.
Yeah,
3-on-2. I like my eyes. It's like just like basketball.
Yeah. See, you know, you got people making stuff up. Like, so Brent Little on Facebook says, I think Moore wants to run the ball and Chip wants to run the pass. With the screens, him and Chip are not on the same page. That is made up.
That's not true at all.
That is just made up. That is projection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the stats.
Because if you call 16 RPOs, that means you're trying to make them play honest.
Right.
And then how many dropbacks we had?
And so I'll give it to you right here.
6 or 9 dropbacks.
And so
it was 6 for 9 on those drop back passes.
The other thing that I wanted to get into, Lace, is as when we talk about comfort in the pocket, he completed a pass early and he got hit on the pass. There was a pressure on it that came free.
Yep.
And when I saw that, I mean, it was like, I think it was the first pass he completed. And I thought about that initially, man, and I was like,
so you said you thought his feet wasn't gonna be he's gonna have happy feet, huh?
That's exactly what went through my mind.
Really?
That was not a good thing. That pressure got through early in the game.
Right.
I'm curious what you thought about that. Like,
yeah. That's one of those ones, man. You like, cause he's been going in the right direction, trending in the right direction with trusting the O-line. And when you have that happen early on in the game, it's kind of hard to be like, oh,
hard to trust him.
I can stay back here. But that comes with age, and he's got to be able to say, okay, now I can send this protection to this. I can send the back this way. I can send the 4-man protection that way. So like that's something that it's easy to fix. He got to understand that it is, and I think that's something that Chip gonna have to start telling him, hey, we can fix it. It's easy to fix. Just turn the protection this way. You got to trust your eyes. Trust the safety. If you see the rotation of the safeties topping the nickel, you gotta know. You gotta know he's coming, and you gotta be able to send the guys that way. So either we're gonna beat them with slide the protection, or we're gonna beat them with the RPO. And so that's the thing. They have the answers. Now you just have to execute it.
Yeah, it was one of those things. So look, there were in that game, like we said, there were 16 RPOs. One of them he threw.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about the dropbacks in the game.
Yep.
There weren't that many dropbacks in the contest. You just gave that number right there.
6 of 9, right? Yeah, 9 dropbacks. They went 6 for 9 on them, and I think that's okay. I mean, because you got the nakeds, you got the RPOs that you don't get those. We just wish we wish he would have just completed some of those RPOs, so he could get. That's actually them passes, right? Those are pass, and especially when it's you see the nickel come off and you see they crash down, you gotta just throw the ball out there. Get that's extra passes that coaches don't have to call a drop back for,
Yeah, man. It's one of those deals where I think Borges said there were 5 pass plays in the game where no one was open. I do think that's a few too many. That's a few too many pass plays.
Yeah.
In a game where nobody's open.
Right.
So I'm thinking if nobody's open on a naked, we got to look at what are they diagnosing your play? Is that play too predictable? They're naked in from pistol. Lace.
You got to work on the fakes.
Here's my question to you: naked in from pistol versus naked in from under center.
Yeah, it's a big difference. It is a big difference. It's a big difference. I mean, because you could sell it more. You could sell it a lot more under center. The element of like the defense got to come down. They got to come down and they got to play the box. You take it 2 or 3, 4 steps with the ball. Tell them that it's run play. You get what I'm saying? So like when you take that time of actually being on the center, doing the naked is going to be more effective than doing it in a pistol because you sell it. You could sell it more.
Yeah. He said he had 2 bad reads where he threw the ball where he shouldn't have thrown the ball. He was pressured 5 times in the game. 16 RPOs where only 1 was thrown. And I mentioned the 5 pressures. I mean, that's your passing game for the most part. You want to know what happened? That's what happened in the passing game. And then the times where that I just mentioned, where 5 times where everybody was covered.
Right. That's tough. And that's why he had one of those a little down game this game, and it's not something that we could just get. We could be like, oh, it's terrible. Like, no, it's okay. It's okay. The things that I've seen on there, it's like, okay, he's thrown these already before, so I'm not nervous about him not seeing the RPO stuff. So because he's thrown it already. I've seen him throw it. I've seen him make the right read on these same plays that he didn't this weekend. So I understand that.
Yeah, I'm curious when it comes to every play action, every naked action to me should work with him.
And the reason that you got 2 running backs that run the ball well,
and a quarterback
Ooh.
who they should just be reacting to grossly every time.
Yes.
So If that's not working, either they know your plays, so they have your signs. So either they have your signs, which that they might.
Yeah, they might.
They might.
Yeah, they might.
Or, I mean, it's you got to get under center. You got to get under center.
Yeah, I think getting under center will definitely help the play action game, because I just feel like it's a different element of making a defense say, hey, this is run, and now I got to get back and react to try to get back to these receivers running past us, and that's the beauty of being under center with the play action.
Yeah, he had one drop in there.
Yeah,
2 bad reads, 5 pressures. 1 pass on the RPO. That's again, we're giving you the real stats to the game. And then there were just some, you talk about the bad reads. I mean, you had a couple times where, you leaving some good protection.
Right. And that's the thing. He was taking the right steps in the right direction. In this game, he kind of went back to what he was doing. Like sometimes he'll feel something that wasn't really there, and that's what happens sometimes. And I think on one of the plays that I was watching, I think it was like 7 minutes and 35 seconds left in the game, or something like that in the fourth quarter. And it was a play where he should have just he could have just stayed in the pocket, and I think it's like a post that came open, or like a seam route that came open. I wish he would just stayed in there, just threw the ball and just made the right decision, but he took off, ran. I think he ended up coming like short to the first down, but it's one of those things that you got to just start trusting your O-line and understanding like what's going on, and then start protecting yourself. You got to start protecting yourself. I think that's the biggest thing. Say, okay, I can see the nickel coming off the edge. I'm gonna slide the protection that way. So now I know I have a hat for a hat. And that's the biggest thing, being able to see that and identify where the pressure is coming from. Because most of the time, coaches tell you to throw where the blitz is coming from. Where he leaves, that's where you throw to. And so that's the biggest thing. You got to understand, you got to be able to throw where they coming from, where they blitzing from. So, because wherever we replace, we're going to replace it. And then whether it's a bubble or a hitch or a seam, we're going to replace it. So I think that's Chip doing a good job of having that in his offense right now. We've seen Bryce throw the ball to the right guy on the RPO when the guys blitz off the edge. So it's about just him seeing it and being experienced enough to do that and make those things happen.
Yeah, man. And so they, you can get real caught up in we gotta make sure that we're doing this. We're doing this. We're throwing this. We're getting this stat and we're making it look this way.
Right.
Or like I said, you can get caught up in we're gonna win this game. And so they went in and they made some key adjustments in the run game at halftime that worked.
Yes.
That absolutely worked. And this is another reason why we got to scheme it, because people, they don't equate sort of innovation or scheming in the run game with like IQ, with like offensive IQ.
No. I think that's one thing I would say Sharon do a great job of. And at halftime, adjusted to the right runs. He would say, all right, we got these plays that it's going to work. These plays have been working. These are the plays that's hitting. And he does a great job at halftime making those adjustments, because he'll probably call 5 different runs, 6 different runs. And he'll come back in the locker room and be like, these are guys that's hitting. And I'm telling you, it's going to hit. It's going to hit. And he do a great job of doing that. I don't know if that's him calling the plays. Obviously, I think Chip is calling the plays. But I know from experience just being around Sharon, when I did see him at halftime, he would have an adjustment ready for, and it'll be running adjustments. And he do a great job at it.
They were running this split zone. We got to get to a break. They were running this split zone gap kind of play. We're going to run over it in the film study.
Right.
That we do. Tore Michigan State up with it.
Yeah.
Tore them up with it. And then people like, they couldn't get anybody open. They ran a play pass off of it. It was a touchdown, dog.
Yes.
It was a touchdown. I mean, Marlon Klein, you can't see it on the TV copy. Marlon Klein is 5. I mean, he got 5 steps wide open.
Wow, it's open.
I mean, he's so wide open. If I showed you the all 22,
they called it up. I'm telling you, they calling great plays. That's what they do. They do a good job of adjusting and doing that.
Marlon Klein, I am not embellishing this. He is so wide open. Michigan State bit so hard on this play. I'm counting right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards in front of the DB. This is a touchdown. It's a touchdown in the second. They're already up 24-13.
Yep.
But this is the nail in the coffin.
Yep.
And he just don't see it.
It happens sometimes. But I was talking to Borges, right? We was talking, and he just sent me a text, and I remember me and him having a conversation. And people used to think, "Oh, I just love being in the shotgun." I'm like, I do love being in the shotgun, but one thing being under center, it made me understand timing of the footwork and being able to do a play action. I always told him I always like the bang 8 on the H2. We used to have H2 X bang 8.
So let's get to a break though.
Okay.
Let's get to a break. We'll come back on the other side.
Got you.
But this is the residual effect of not trusting the protection, because this was actually pretty good protection,
right?
But that early pressure just stuck with them. So they gotta figure out how to get them comfortable.
Okay.
Because that's going to be a big key to me this week. The line, because they did get them pressured 5 times.
Yeah.
But if they can just protect them
5 times out of how many players?
I hear you. But if they can protect them early, I think it'll color the rest of the game. If they can protect them early.
Yeah.
Let's get to a break. Be back on the other side here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com.
Clear on the radio.
If you saw this, and you can react for the people, react to this play for the people. So this is play action on that run play. Now tell the people, am I overreacting to how wide open Marlon Klein is on this play, and describe the protection on the play too as we're going through it. So play fake. Look at Marlon Klein.
Oh my God.
He wide open.
Go back.
I mean,
they did a great job of like selling this.
They sold it. This should be. Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, look at that. Let me go back. I want to see what his helmets look like.
Would be the he was best. Well, I don't know that he looked downfield,
because that's what I'm saying. Like, where is he looking at? Like go back. That was the view. I want the back.
Oh, you want the back view? You want the end zone view? All right.
I'm trying to see where his head was at, because he got to know that's when we're trying to get the ball to.
I think he was looking at the rush.
He not looking. He never looked.
Yeah.
He never looked over there.
Yeah, I think he was about to, but
because I'm like, what spooked him? Like, no blitz came, no nothing. Like, what?
No blitz came, but I mean, by that point, man, I think the pressure that he's gotten by that point, he just thinks it's coming.
But you got 8 minutes.
I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not.
I'm saying how many guys you got protected for you. Look how many guys you got 8, 9, yeah, protected from. Nobody's getting in.
Yeah, I mean, it's max. It's only 2 guys out.
It's max protection.
Yeah. And it's open. I mean, hey, it's the scenario that I laid out. You should be totally comfortable with max protect. So, this should be maximum comfort too.
Yeah, that's one of the ones.
So I mean, you just gotta work on it in practice.
Yeah, because that was great play call. I know Chip was probably in the yelling at the screen. Oh, I got a touchdown. He didn't look at it.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That was probably the toughest one of the game for them to see, because that's blatant. That's bad. that was different than the bubbles. Like the bubbles were like, hey, you know what? You got to throw those, but that touchdown right there, that puts the game away. And unfortunately, it winds up. What was that? Was that third? Was that a third down? No, I think that might have been a.
That's an early down, ain't it?
Yeah, I think that was an early down. Hold on, it was. Let me be totally clear on what the down and distance was on the play. It was 2nd and 7.
See,
Back on radio in about 30 seconds.
That's one of the ones you got to just. Oh my God, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a touchdown.
But he had to know that's what we was thinking going to. You can't be thinking about going to the one receiver guy. You want to go to the tight end he can get lost in the sauce a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I'm not fast to blame everyone except Bryce.
Stand by, guys. Going back on radio. Hold on. Stand by.
Monday morning quarterback Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson, shoelaces flopping in the wind, goes all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Michigan.
On the Big 1050 WTKA.
And we are back, folks, here on the Michigan Insider on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at the big1050.com. Sam Webb, Mr. Ira Weintraub on the other side, and our Monday morning quarterback, Denard Robinson, is with us. The Monday morning quarterback brought to you by our friends over at Golden Limousine. Golden Limousine International is the go-to for travel in the Midwest with premium vehicles and professional chauffeurs. Golden sets the standard for safety and style. Michigan rides on Golden. Visit goldenlimo.com and you can too. One of the viewers said, Sam is always fast to blame everyone besides Bryce, it seems. That's not true.
No,
that is not true. We
No.
give you the stats, the breakdown, and when he doesn't perform well, we say it. So we said, hey, he threw one RPO in the whole game. And clearly that's a sign that he wasn't comfortable. And that's not gonna cut it. There were a couple bubbles that were obvious that he got to throw.
You have to throw.
There was a touchdown that clearly he missed. He wasn't comfortable, and that's on him. But they got to figure out. They have to figure out how to get him comfortable, though.
That's true, because I mean, you got max protection, and the main receiver that you're supposed to be throwing to was wide open. You got to make sure you make that throw. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like watching that film and seeing that, he was the main target. Marlon Parker was the main target. Like, hey, we're gonna hide him a little bit. We're gonna have the two guys pull over pull to the right and go be protection. We had max protection. You only had two receivers in the route. And the guy that you were trying to get the ball to was open. And he never, I don't think his watching his wing helmet, you never seen those stripes go to where Marlon was at. And I think that was the biggest thing. I think he kind of was watching the rush a little bit. And that's, as a young quarterback, that happens. It happens in the game. It's sometimes you end up seeing you probably see somebody come flash, you think somebody's flashing, but really it's protected. You got to understand, everybody is around you protected. We were doing max protection to have you protected. And we only running two guys in the route. And if one of those guys come open, you gotta make that throw. You have to.
Yeah. So we got a super chat. We got a super chat. Beats, Treats, and Ice Cream said Bryce threw for 89 yards, was taking photos during the game. Big fan, but this is a bad look. He didn't play well. This needs to be dialed in. What did you think of that? We appreciate the super chat.
Oh man. I don't dive into stuff like that, man.
So
I feel like this. That's a coach thing.
So here's the game was basically over. So it'd be different if it was like literally the game is in doubt.
Right.
This is celebratory time. You can't celebrate the game. Like it'd be different if it was the game was in question. Now I'm not saying that the dude. There's no question that you're right. He didn't play well. And he has a lot to correct. And it wasn't like, the line was was bad the whole time.
Yeah.
The plays that we're talking about, the protection was good.
It was there, yeah.
The missed touchdown wasn't on the line.
No.
He had good protection on that play. Got to hit that throw.
You got to.
So
I mean, I'm just worried that his helmet didn't go towards Marlon. That was my biggest thing. Like watching the play, I'm trying to figure out, like, because Coach Rich Rodriguez and Borges, they always used to look at our wing helmet and be like,
yeah,
you never looked at, the stripe's gonna tell me where you're going with the ball. And
I guess here's the happy medium with the celebration for Bryce. If you're Sharon, no problem with the celebration. Just wait till the game is over.
Yeah,
maybe that's the thing.
I think that's the biggest thing. Just say that. Hey, wait till you want to go take pictures and selfies with guys. Do it after the game.
He did have to take a snap or two after that.
Yeah, they had to need the ball, and I think that's the biggest thing. I feel like you got to wait till the game is done. I mean, and I think that's the biggest thing. He's a young guy. That's a young guy making. Maybe it's a mistake that Sharon probably like, nah, I'm cool with it. Coach might be mad at it. So
yeah, because there might be a time where there is, you think the game is over and the game is closer,
right?
And you think it's over and it's not really over,
right?
Kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
I've been a part of those games that we come back and win the 30 seconds left. So
yeah, maybe it's like that Michigan State game where you're punting and the punt winds up getting blocked and then they return it for a touchdown type of thing. Right. So
really, Sam, you had to go there.
I'm just giving it as a bad example.
Why would he go there? Like he went to a dark place just now for
because
that one, man.
That's an example of a game that seems like it's over.
That was a dark place, Sam. Come on,
that's
man.
a game that seems like it's over.
I dread that game, man. I dread that game because so I was at Jacksonville at the time, and Robert Saleh is a Michigan State fan, right? So Robert Saleh is a linebacker coach, and I was playing running back / receiver at Jaguars. So I used to talk trash to him a little bit, obviously, because we're competing with the linebackers. And me and him had a little, we had a little trash talking bet going, because he, I call him my brother. We're gonna beat y'all. And so we're in the hotel watching the game, right? And I'm watching it. We watching it, and I'm talking trash like game over. We putting the ball, it's over. And it wasn't over. And he laughed in my face so bad after that game. That was one of the ones that I was like, I still felt dread from that game. Like I feel it every time I see it and I hear it. I hate talking about that game in particular.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not, it's not a huge deal to me, but it's for the next time.
Right.
I wouldn't. It's not like I would be like, why did you do that?
Right.
It was like, hey, man, in case, in case we're in a tighter game, this might be something that we don't want to do.
Right.
So let's just wait till after the game.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about it too, man. Just wait till after the game. Do it after the game, and people, you're a leader. Like whether you want to, whether he's young or whatever, he's the leader. So like, if he started doing it, other people might think that's okay to do. So I think that's where you got to kind of have the happy medium. Like, hey, you could do it, but do it after the game.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about these other things.
Yes,
right.
Let's talk let's talk football.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the football pieces,
right? The RPOs,
like we said. So as we're talking about the game, because I saw all kinds of things.
Okay.
All kinds of things about the way it looked, about the plays that were being called. And it's like
it was too much meat left on the bone. Chip called a good game. He had an answer for all the nickel blitzes, and we had answers. You just gotta throw. You gotta make the right reads on the RPOs. Make the right read, because now you got the defense playing honest. The defense got that nickel. The nickel coming off the slot all the time. It'll die down because now we gashing them. And Samaj having a good game. Goodwin going for a good game, and Marsh is having a great game off the bubbles, but we didn't hit the bubbles, and so that's what happened. And it's crazy. This whole season we've been hitting the bubbles all day, and everybody complained about it, like, oh, he's just throwing bubbles, and it's like that's what we need sometimes because it's off the RPO. Those are things that's the right answer for the play, and so he gotta just continue to make those right reads and make teams pay for it.
Yeah. So now the question is, as you get into looking at the fixes, we know he can throw RPOs.
We know he can throw RPOs.
I'm not even. I don't even think that that needs a whole lot of work, right?
Right.
That has more to do with comfort than making the reads, because he's made the reads right far too often for you to think that is an issue.
And that's what I said. That's why I'm not concerned about it, because we've seen him do it all season, and everybody complained about it because he done it all season.
Yeah. So now you get into, how do we address this thing where, pressure gets through, it messes with the feet.
You get happy feet. I think that come with time. I think that come with time, man. I mean, I feel like him understanding, okay, I'm going to send somebody to protect where I see the pressure coming from. Because once you start seeing that, once you start seeing, okay, I could send somebody to that guy that's coming, that's blitzing off the edge or right up the middle, I got a guy that's coming, I got a guy for a guy, then you become like, okay, I know my guy's going to be there. Now I trust it. That's the biggest thing. I think my feet got calmer when I start understanding protection and saying, okay, I got 4 guys coming from here. The only guy that can hit me is probably coming from the left, because I set my protection to my right. And I know majority of the time they're coming from the right. So I'm banking on them coming from the right. And if a guy comes free from the left, I'm okay with it because I know where it's coming from. And so I think that's the biggest thing, understanding where the
that's a great
blitz
point.
will be coming from. And where's the threat? Where's the threat? I identified the threat. I've matched it with my guy, and we're gonna let it rip. I think that's the biggest thing, when he start understanding that and having that type of mindset and being able to see the whole field and being like, okay, I know where it's coming from. I could play with the cadence a little bit just to get them to jump off sides, or I could play with the cadence just to see where the blitz is coming from. And I think that's what he's gonna start having to do, is play with his cadence to get those guys to react. And so now, I see where he's coming from. I can send the protection there. Hey, I see he flips a little bit. Oh yeah, he's coming. Oh yeah, he's bluffing. He backed out. So those little things right there could help him out by just playing with the cadence and say, hey, let me get a little extra clap just to get those guys to show me their hand. It's almost like poker. You sometimes you got to have a poker face, and you got to see what they got and play around with them and put some of the plates in. So I think some of your chips in, but like that's some of the things that I think he got to learn how to do, and that comes with time. And I think now he got to start using his cadence to figure out where the protection is coming from, the blitz is coming from.
Beats, treats, and ice cream. You tripping now, bro.
What did he say now?
You tripping, man. They're 6-2, man. Are you kidding me? He said, is our record different if Mikey Keene is healthy? You realize we're talking about getting Bryce comfortable after a win. They didn't lose the game.
Right.
They won the game. I don't understand what you're talking about, with all due respect. So they ran that bluff play. Remember that bluff play we talked about last week? And we said they were going to bring the bluff back.
I was so excited because he scored on it. Yeah. He scored a touchdown.
He scored a touchdown on that bluff play we were talking about.
When I, that's one of the ones, that's my favorite kind of read option. Like if I'm reading it and I got the line, I got a tight end and somebody lead blocking for me. Oh my gosh. Because now I'm gonna make somebody else miss, and I got an extra blocker in front of me. Oh my God, we off to the races. And look what he did.
And I had to put that up. because it's a super chat, and so all super chats go up. So appreciate the super chat, because super chats help keep us going. But man, bro, come on, man, let's have some perspective here. Bryce is a fantastic talent.
Yes,
but a talent that needs to be nurtured and cultivated and coached, right? There's some things that they're going to have to continue to grow and groom and get him through. And one of those is this, coach him through a line that is still growing, that has a new piece at left tackle, right?
And that's another thing. You think about it. You got a young tackle, because most of the time a tackle could probably help you out. Like I had Taylor Lewan and I had Michael Schofield as my right tackles, and those guys were able to say, "Hey, Denard, he's coming out the slot." Taylor would be like, "Hey, he's coming out the slot. Hey, Denard, let's send us this way. Let's go this." And when you have those type of guys that have that experience, they're able to help you out, and you're able to help them out. because now those guys, you might have to send them out to the nickel slot coming off the edge, and they're like, oh, I'm ready to have fun with this little guy because I can grab, once I put my hands on him, he's done. And so like it's kind of cool to have those type of guys. But Frazier being a young guy just as well as Bryce is two young guys being able to try to protect the edge. And he got to understand he's going to have to start seeing it because he's the quarterback and he can see the safeties. He can see the rotation of the safeties. He can see all that. So it's about him experience, going through it and understanding it's going to take time for him to be right all the time with it and watch a lot of film. Watch a lot of film because right now a lot of teams are going to start doing this to him and he's going to have to see it and be able to send the projection to it.
I don't know how to say Wakeem Masabi.
RPO.
Appreciate you for the super chat. Appreciate you. That's always great. All right, so we got the overtime coming with Denard. Shoelace is gonna take your questions in the overtime. For those of you who are with us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, get the questions ready for Shoelace. For those of you who are with us on the radio, we are going to bid you adieu. We thank you for staying with us. You'll be able to hear the overtime on the radio tomorrow. So tune in then.
On the way out, one more try. What? How about it, Sam?
Yeah, well, you be caller number 7 at 734-998-1050, and you will join us inside the Bud Light Victor's Lounge, where it all goes down. At 734-998-1050. You'll join us inside the Bud Light Victor's Lounge. Caller number 7 at 734-998-1050. We'll see you tomorrow here on the Big 1050 WTKA, online at thebig1050.com.
Clear on the radio.
Clear on the radio. All right. Another super chat. John Walls. We appreciate your super chatters. I'm telling you, you're making it happen. And one of the reasons we are going to do this film study is because we've gotten a few super chats over the last couple of weeks. That's kind of like, hey, gorgeous. Let's get a film study in this week. For the Michigan State game. And I think it'll provide some clarity because I think a lot of the folks coming off of this game are convinced the game was called there was this terrible game plan. They came in and they just said they were just going to run the ball and that was it. And Sharon is calling the plays and he isn't letting Chip do what he wants to do. That was not what happened. That was not what happened in this game. We're telling you what happened in this game. Hopefully the film study will bring some clarity to it.
For sure. Because, I mean, if he throws the bubble a couple times on the RPO, and we beating them, we keep going over, and we'll keep talking through it. But if he throws it, those are gash plays. I think those are at least 10 yards, at least. Mm-hmm. And that's the big difference. That's if he throw it 3 or 4 times, that's 40 yards right there. Mm-hmm. So I think, and that's just me just saying they're just getting 10 yards. I thought it was a lot of meat he left a lot of meat on the bone when it came to, missing Marlon Klein, missing the bubbles, missing little things like that. And those are the things that we see him make the throws. So I'm not concerned about it. This is one of those ones that it's a game. It happened. It's a part of what's going on and everything like that. So just take a deep breath and we'll be okay. All right.
All right, if you have questions for Denard, put them in the chat now. If you have questions for Denard, put them in the chat now, and we will start knocking them down. Or I'd say lace. And we'll put them in the chat now, and we will start knocking them down as I get to these super chats, and we get all the super chats to the top. But again, if you have questions for Lace, put them in the chat now. All right. And we will start knocking them down. All right. But first things first, let's get this last super chat up. And it comes from Darius Brown on YouTube. He says, Bryce will be great, but he's making fresh mist. I don't know what that, I don't know.
Say freshman.
Oh, freshman. Okay. He's making freshmen like that drive when he throws the ball so hard that Marsh fell. That would have been a touchdown. I sense what he's getting at. He's still coming along. There's some things that he is missing for sure.
I think it's just you learning your personnel.
Exactly.
Learning your personnel. Learning your personnel. Learning. Okay, knowing your personnel. I think that's the biggest thing. Knowing your people. Knowing how I could throw the ball to them. Knowing how I could take some off or put some extra heat. Like knowing where the catch radius is at. Like I always was taught, like, if I'm throwing the ball, I gotta put if I'm throwing it to a running back, I gotta take some off of it. I know this unless it's a good running back and know how to catch the ball, you gotta understand how they like the ball thrown to him. And I think that's the biggest thing. He's learning, and obviously he got a cannon for arm. So a lot of people don't throw the ball like that, and a lot of people can't put the zip on the ball like Bryce can. Bryce have a live arm, and he could fit the ball into places that a lot of people can't.
Yeah, John Walls says, so did they replace the direct wide receiver screen bubble with the RPO with the bubble? I think they ran both. They ran wide receiver screens, and then they ran runs with run controls on them, and he just didn't throw them.
Right.
He just didn't throw them in this game.
And I think that was the thing. Like, these are the things that he's done all season. So it's about just him understanding and identifying, okay, what the picture looked like before the play, and then pre-snap, and then snap. Once the ball snap, he has to still see the picture after the ball snap. And so I think that's going to be the thing. I think he's done it all season. So it's not something that he had a problem seeing. He's done it all season. Everybody get mad about him throwing a lot of bubbles. Like, that's what he's thrown all season. So it's there. He got to just take it and give him. That's just one of those games this year. And as a young guy, you're gonna have those games where you don't see it sometimes. And
by the way, John, thanks for the super chat, man. Appreciate you.
To get that. We can make those. He's gonna make those throws. I have faith in him, Sam. And
I do too.
I don't think it's a big thing. Now it's about, my biggest concern was him trusting the protection.
Right.
And
that's my single biggest concern too.
Yes.
Trust in the protection.
And that's the only thing. When you got a max protection, you should be able to trust the protection and know that your guys are going to block everybody that's coming. So I think that was one of the ones that stood out to me.
That was the one to me. That was the one, because I remember a couple games ago. When I think, and I tweeted this, I said, hey, to get him comfortable, man, give him max protection a couple of times, max it up. And that's that way, he'll be comfortable. They came out against whoever it was, and they ran max protect and crosses in the end zone. He threw the touchdown. And I said, wow, there you go. Give him that a couple more times. And at least, in that scenario, he'll feel comfortable.
Yep.
Man, you don't get no more protection than max protection. Right. And the dude was wide open.
Yeah.
And the protection was good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't do any more than that in that scenario. So, that's not on the play call right there. No. That's just something that they gotta go back.
They say, hey, look, watch this, man. You had the time, step up in the pocket, make these throws that we know you can make. That's the conversation you're gonna have in the quarterback room. It's like, hey, we max protection for this. This is why, because we knew this guy was gonna come open. It was gonna come up. The corner came up, and Marlon went right past him. I mean, Marlon can run, so a lot of people can't. If you get a couple steps behind him, he might start pulling away from you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That way, if we can give the people some knowledge, that way they can educate some of the uneducated opinions. I won't call it uneducated fans, but I'll call it the uneducated opinions. Because if you watch the game, you see the pivot. Like, they tried to do some things early, and then they're like, hey, all right, we can beat our head against the wall and try to
do this. We can just beat y'all with what we know goes to work. Like why not? Like, that's the biggest thing. That's my thing is, why change what's winning? Like, what's gonna work? Like, let's win this game. and then we can have a discussion with him later and be like, hey, you gotta trust the protection. You gotta make these reads. Hey, we had a couple bubbles. You gotta make those throws. That's all.
Yeah. Wakeem Masabi came through. Wakeem, I think I said your name right. If I didn't, I apologize for butchering it. Brother, I'm sorry, but appreciate the super chat. Blue and May 76 came through with a super chat. Appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you back, man. I'm gonna start knocking down these questions. And let's start getting to them. And so the next one comes from, it's another super chatter. It says, Mission Forward 3 says, it's taking me a minute, but a young team is the proverbial box of chocolates. What you say, Lace? So you said you never know what you're going to get with a young team.
And that's exactly what it is right now. I mean, you got to get the guys to start trusting you and then understanding to trust the process of what's going on. And, some people have done things a different way, but you got to just try to get them to say, hey, this is the process. I'm telling you, this is what you're supposed to do, and this is how you're supposed to do it. And once they start realizing, like, oh, he's right, that's when you're gonna start seeing these guys be what they All-Americans and Heisman hopefuls. So like that's what you're gonna start seeing when they start trusting the process and the game starts slowing down for them. I think that's the biggest thing. When the game starts slowing down for you, and you start seeing, hey, okay, I can play with the cadence to get this guy to show me what he's gonna do. I'm gonna bluff him, boom. And now you start playing with it. And that's what, like, when you watch Aaron Rodgers, even though they lost last night, when he did certain things, like he played with the cadence and got them to jump off sides, and they didn't call it. Obviously, they didn't call it. He threw the ball down the field because he's known for doing that so much, is getting guys to jump off sides and do things like that. So it's kind of cool to see that. So now when you got a young guy like Bryce, he got to start playing with the cadence to get guys to show their hand and let them understand what's going on around him. I think that's the biggest thing. When you start being able, the game starts slowing down for you, and you're able to say, hey, let me play with the cadence. Or you have a, crip like, hey, play with the cadence because they're jumping and they're getting a jump on us. So you got to start playing with the cadence to start seeing the things that's going to happen on the back end. So now I know what coverage I'm getting. I know where the blitz is coming from. And I think that's the biggest thing for him is being able to trust the process and let the game slow down for him. I think that's going to be the big thing for him, the game slowing down for him and understanding where it's coming from.
All right. So Pigskin Highlight 7807. What do you think the reason is for Michigan not targeting tight ends as much as they should? Why aren't they running more play action plays given how effectively they run the ball? Now, they targeted tight ends a ton last week.
Yeah, yep.
Now, here's the irony of that question. The play that we broke down.
The one we want.
the one that we're talking about that is the defining play of the game as far as misses are concerned.
Right.
Is a play action pass to Marlon Klein.
Right. It's
a touchdown. That's just not thrown.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great play call. It was set up off of I think the best adjustment of the game. The run play that is like a split zone gap.
Because basically
play.
All the eyes of the backers see the pullers. And so that intrigued the safeties, that intrigued the linebackers. So because they see puller and they see this action. And you got what your run keys telling you is all run.
Yep.
The linemen are attacking the D linemen. It screams run play.
Yeah, man.
And so you got all the guys that come up. Even the corners came up and was ready to protect hit.
Yeah.
And so that's how Marley got a couple steps. Well, you said
five steps. 5 steps. He was 5 steps behind the DB. It's a touchdown.
Yes.
And the protection is good. And it's max protection. Yeah. So I mean, you've been a quarterback. I imagine this is the scenario where you feel like, okay, I'm gonna be protected.
And you're gonna be protected, and I'm pretty sure the coach is telling you, "Hey, Marlon's gonna sell the crap out of this run with us. You gotta be ready." That's our first target. That's what we're going to. So your first read is going to him, and his helmet never really got to see.
Well, and let's give Bryce the benefit of the doubt. Maybe that's part of the sell. I'm gonna look here, thinking I'm gonna go over there. but he never
Really
goes over there
really
because
got back over there.
he starts looking at the rush.
Yeah, you could tell his helmet was
what
like
he
this.
thinks is going to be the rush.
Yes, his helmet was like trying to find someone to get out of there, and that's one of those plays that you got to trust and just let's throw that Marlon. That's touchdown. That's a touchdown right there.
That's a touchdown. So I don't know what to tell you other than they got to work on getting him comfortable.
Yeah. I think that's him understanding the game and slowing down to be able to send the protection. I'm telling you, once you start getting to the point where you can send the protection wherever the blitz is coming from, that's when you get real comfortable because you know I have a hat for a hat. I know for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing for him. And I think another thing is he got to play with the cadence. I'm going to keep saying that today, and I'm probably saying it to the end of the season. He has to play with the cadence so he can see it, and the O-line can see it. Even the coach can see it because now you might call a dummy play just to get them to react and show what they're doing. And now we put ourselves in the right position for the play for him to call in a play that it can adjust to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. They run they cover 3 and they come and bring the nickel off the slot. Let's go run some scenes on this.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's replace him with wherever he's coming from. You know, let's run the bubble to that way. Let's run the RPO to that way. And we know he's coming off the slot. We're gonna throw it quick, beat him with the ball, beat him with timing, and we flip our hips and get it out there. You know?
Yeah. So next question from David Pruden. He says, "How come Browder and Goodwin haven't gotten a chance over Maj?" I don't think Goodwin. Well, neither one of them plays slot.
No,
but I think. I'm just saying. I think that Goody, he was getting run early in the season.
Right.
You know, are you to the point now where you feel comfortable playing the young fella, playing Marsh in the slot? Now he's just getting his run over at the Z.
Yeah.
Right. So are you ready to say, okay, you know that now we're gonna play you some at the slot so we can put Goody back in and start giving him some of those snaps and getting back out there?
Yeah, see, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. You know, I think Samaj did good job of running the bubble. I think that was his big thing. Like he don't go down off the first contact. I think that's one thing I would say he can hold his hat on. Like he's not going down off the first.
Look, I'm not saying that Samaj never plays.
Right.
Okay, I'm not saying that.
Uh-huh.
But look, you got to start getting some other guys opportunities.
Right.
I am saying that.
Yeah,
it's just gameplay. Said when Goody was dropping balls, he got completely out of the lineup. Like he wasn't playing anymore.
Right.
Like he dropped a couple balls and all his snaps went away.
Wow.
Like you didn't see him no more, right?
Uh-huh.
Like did you where he was getting no run? Right? He was getting no run.
Yeah.
Now Samaj has dropped more balls than Goodwin.
Yeah.
He
had one.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that Samaj shouldn't play at all, but if Goodwin dropped a couple balls and stopped playing like altogether, then it stands to reason that at least some other guys should be able to get into the mix. Mm-hmm. That's if other guys can play the position.
But are they ready for that?
That's the question.
You see Samaj lined up in so many different positions.
That's the question. That's a legit question.
Who's able to do that? Because that means he knows the offense inside and out.
Yeah, that's a legit question.
Kid. And I think that that's a big thing. Like that's why I feel like Marsh was having a hard time getting on the field. It's about learning the plays, knowing where to be at, knowing how to motion, all those different things. They're putting Samaj in all types of motions, all types of backfield, moving around the slot, like that's he moves around a lot. So, when you asking a guy to be that guy, he gotta know the offense inside and out.
You're right.
And so that's the biggest thing. So
yeah, and you don't want to put too much on Marsh's plate,
right?
To the point where you're you're taking away from
Now he's not
how
playing
good he's been.
fast.
Now
He's not playing fast. Like you don't want Andrew Marsh out there playing slow. We want him to play like he's been playing fast. What's my man name again? The DB from the Raiders.
Which one?
Sticks. He got Sticky. They call him Sticky.
Oh, my man that you just
Lester
said.
Hayes?
Yeah. Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes.
Yep.
That's what you want Andrew Marsh to play. You want him to still be out there being sticky, just being catching the ball and playing fast and being explosive. You don't want him to have to think too much because now he don't because now he have to be in emotion or he have to be in certain different things. Like let him play fast. You want him to play fast and be explosive. Be that receiver that could be that number 2, the Robin for Devin.
Yeah.
So you want him to be ready to be back, Robin. And
yeah, I get it.
I
get it. You know, Samaj is like the leader in the room. He's one of the older guys, and there's been a lot of deference to that.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of deference to that, but
he's. I mean,
he knows.
But the guys trust him.
Position.
Like,
and the guys trust him.
Bryce is going back to him. If I didn't think Samaj was that good, Bryce wouldn't be going back to him. Bryce is going back to him. That means he's seen something in practice. He has seen something, we've seen him in games. We see him make plays in games. So
it's kind of like, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Roddy Gale on the basketball team where he missed like every 3 for like 3 months.
Really?
And they kept letting him shoot threes. And then he finally made them in the tournament.
So
he
came alive in the right spot.
He came through when it counted.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that.
That's what I'm wrong with.
Maybe it's that. D. Franks 312 said, did Denard like the move of switching jerseys after warmups in 2011?
Man, don't ever bring it up, man. Don't bring it up no more. I hated it. That was probably one of the worst times in my life, man. First of all, Michigan State got a terrible locker room at that time, and it was very, very small. And I remember, and I never forget because I'm the type of person, I know how my jersey hugs me, like how I go on my shoulder pads and stuff. It has to be a certain way. And I remember like putting on my pants, it didn't feel right. Putting on my jersey didn't feel right. And I'm just like, hey man, like my jersey, I'm telling Big Johnny, I'm like, Johnny, man, this jersey don't feel right. And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, Big D, you'll be okay. If you ever heard Johnny talk, Big D, you'll be okay, Big D. And I'm like, hey, I don't like how this jersey feels, man. I need my jersey to be a little tighter. I want my pads to be a certain way. And so we go back in the locker room and they're like, oh, we switch the jersey. And I'm just like, I'm a routine person. I hate something that take me out of my routine. And so it kind of took me out of my routine when that happened. And we put on our jersey. The O-lineman having a hard time putting on the pads. I'm having a hard time putting on the jersey because the jersey's so small and tight. And I'm just like, that kind of threw us off, man. We obviously came out and looked good, but we came out there and it's kind of like we was all uncomfortable. Like Taylor Lewan couldn't put on his pants. They had to cut the back of his pants to make it fit. It was so, and I hate to do this because I hate throwing those guys on the bus like Big Johnny and Coach Hope. But I feel like I was like, man, just give us the uniforms and let us wear and warm up. So that was like one of the ones that I didn't too much care for that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the next one. Next question comes from Marky Mac 9131. Do you think Bryce's inability to read the defense this game was due more to maturity? Was he too amped up for the in-state rivalry?
I don't think so. I think the biggest thing is I think they was jumping his cadence, man. And it showed, obviously on that one play, it showed that they was jumping his cadence. I think he got to start playing with the cadence. I think that's the biggest thing. I think if he play with his cadence and start understanding, like, okay, and obviously it's rival you at Michigan State, so it's probably hard to play with the cadence. I don't know if it's that loud, but I never really thought Michigan State was that loud to not be able to play with the cadence and get guys to move around. So I think that's the biggest thing. I think he got to start playing with the cadence and understanding the value of it and understanding defense when he see trust his eyes, because I think it's been times where he's read the defense perfect and went right where he's supposed to go with the ball, and I think now it's just about him just trusting his eyes, understanding that he can make the throws, or he can make the right read to say, okay, let's send the protection one way or not. Because I'm pretty sure he's learning that. And from what I hear, like I always hear about this guy being in the facility a lot. So I know he's watching film a lot. So like watching and hearing people talk about him, and I'm like, he remind me of you. Like he's a football junkie. He loves being in it. He loves looking at watching film and trying to have a great understanding. It's to the point where people talk about him being kicked out. Like you have to kick him out. Like Coach Sharon had to kick him out of the building and say, hey, man, you got to go home, man. Get you some rest. Mm-hmm. That's how much he liked being at the facility. So it's about him just trusting what he's been watching, trust his preparation before games, and understand like what he's seeing, what he's doing already, he's going to be okay. And I think that's the biggest thing for him. Like when you're at the facility and the head coach is trying to kick you out of there, you're doing the right thing. You're in the right company. That means you're doing. It's now the game got to just start slowing down for you to make those reads and being able to protect yourself or have the RPO and throw it and trust the process of it.
J Dubs 00284. All year he thrown the wide receiver screen about 5-6 times a game. Was just a little confused why we saw none this game. So I'm assuming you're talking about the bubbles and not the wide receiver screen, because we saw a wide receiver screen this game. It was they snuffed that out pretty good. They hit him.
Yeah.
But the wide receiver screen, he just didn't throw. The bubble screen, he just didn't throw.
Bubbles. He didn't throw the bubbles this game. He didn't throw them enough, I would say.
Yeah, they were called.
Yeah.
He just didn't throw them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
Yeah, they got to the bubbles from different positions. They got to bubble from motion to 3x1, and they did it different ways, and they did it in a 2x1. They did it in all types of ways. So it's about him just understanding, trusting, and throwing that ball and getting it out there.
Yeah, again, that to me was a sign of him just not being comfortable. That's because he can read that.
Yeah, that's
like he's just
does a good job of doing it.
He's been so good at that all season,
right? To
the point where if he's not reading that right, something's off.
Right.
Something's off, right? So, that's their job to get him in the right headspace, and him too.
Right.
That's their job collectively to get him comfortable. Whatever you got to do to get him in that space to where he's, who signs something. I don't know what you do. I don't know what your quarterbacks do to get in the zone.
But it's about trusting the process of the week. Your preparation throughout the week. You watching film. You watching what they're gonna do. And I'm pretty sure right now that when Purdue comes to town, they're gonna be doing everything Michigan State did this past week. Well, the things they had success doing, and I think they'll do some of the things that USC did and some of the things that Michigan State did, because he got to make them pay for blitzing off the edge. He got to make them pay for it, and I think people will keep doing it until he started making them pay for it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
Because the more you can stop the run, they feel like if I stop the run, we can stop them.
Yeah. NA3 Rock says, has anyone seen a highlight of the tight end coming from Montana? Mason Ludwig, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
He's come by the studio.
Yep.
Big Moose Ludwig has come by the studio. He said, kid looks like Gronk already.
Yeah.
Kid is physically bigger than some of our tight ends already. I don't know that he's bigger than the guys, but he's a big athletic kid. I think he'll come in ready to I think he'll come in ready to play. Now, how quickly will he pick things up remains to be seen. But yeah, I think that's the kind of guy that
you want in that room.
You want in that room for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Difference making kind of guy at the tight end position.
Mm-hmm.
Just sent Bryce Marich out to see him a couple of weeks. He didn't have a catch in that game, but he showed you that he's not just the pass catcher. Like he plays.
Oh, so he was physical.
He was physical.
Guys. Yep.
Yeah, he'll play that side of the tight end position too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's an all around guy.
You said he's a true Y. That's what we call a true Y.
Yeah.
If he could block and run routes, he's a true Y. That means you could put him in on any down. He could block for you, or he could go down field and win a matchup, one-on-one matchup.
All right. Lama Bryant 9758 says, Denard, what practice drills would improve Bryce's ability to see the field better during games?
I don't think he have a problem with sin. I think he just gotta have a problem. He has a problem of just trusting his eyes right now. And I think that's not something that's not known as a freshman. Like young quarterback, that's what happens normally. The game got to slow down, and you got to start trusting what you see. Because right now it's all pre-snap right now. You all knowing like the pre-snap. Now once the snap happens, now you got to take a picture of that. And I think that's the biggest thing for him. He got to understand the pre-snap, and then now what's the bigger picture when it happens, when the play is developing.
I think one of the things you said that really helps me a lot understand something that might help him is you said if he knows his protections, if he knows where the pressure is likely to come from,
yes,
that's going to help him. So if they can come out of this week, I think if they learn, or if he learns this week how to turn the protection for that nickel blitz, for instance,
right,
I think that could be huge for him.
Yeah, because he know he got a hat for a hat. Not like that means you're going to trust whatever is happening because I know I sent the guy over here. Now, if they come from this way, I know this is the only place that I can be hot from, and I know where my hot is on this play, and that's the biggest thing when you knowing where your hot is coming from, and I think that's the thing that made the game slow down for me because now I'm like I'm not worried. I got my guy protected, and then obviously sometimes your guy gonna lose a match, but as long as I know I got a hat for a hat, everybody's accounted for, and I think that's the biggest thing. Making sure everybody's accounted for, that's blitzing, and so it's nobody's being not accounted for, and once that happens, now your eyes gonna go down the field easy, and you know where you're gonna go with the ball. I think that's the biggest thing. Like when you got a max protection, you got to be. I love max. I love max protection because I knew I was gonna be protected regardless. Even if they bought an extra guy, we had a guy for it.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. That was the thing about that play.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, you should be fine.
We might have two guys for majority of the guys that's rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was that's a tough one.
It's definitely growing pains a little bit. You know, he's being young and just understanding and from what I hear that he's always in there watching film. Just start trusting the film work. Just start trusting it and start understanding like what you watching, what you see is what you're gonna get, and trust it when you get on the football field. Because I'm pretty sure Chip is saying, "Hey, this is the play that's probably gonna work when we do this play right here." And he's drawing it up, and they going through on scout reps. They showing it on scout reps. Just understand, trust those scout reps that you're taking throughout the week. That this is probably what's gonna happen. And majority of the time, when you have a good coach, and I think Sharon Moore is a good coach. I think he's a good coach. I think he does a good job of prepping guys and getting them ready for the game on Saturday. And I think Chip does a great job of doing that too. And so now you got to start understanding what you're doing all week is what's probably going to happen in the game time. And once you start seeing it happen in game time, that's when you're like, oh, I can trust it. I can trust it. And I think that's what he's got to start doing, just trusting it.
Yeah. So this next question. Thanks for the super chat, Mission 403. Was there a schematic reason for only one tight end target? Well, again, here we go again.
Oh man,
here we go again. Listen,
you said we had a touchdown on our hand, huh?
Had a touchdown, man. Had a touchdown. That was going to the tight end.
Yeah.
Like you don't see it on the TV copy, and I don't know if the commentator is like, if they see it and they're like, no, we're not gonna mention that because we don't want to call attention to that was missed.
Yeah,
or if they just don't see it.
Sometimes they don't see it. Sometimes you don't see it. Sometimes you don't see it. And normally your spotter probably see it or tell you, like somebody tell you sometimes, like, hey, it was open. This play was open. But that one, man, that was one of the ones that you see it, you like, ooh, that was. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of football, man. He's gonna be licking his chops like, I wish I could have had that one. And the problem is this: hopefully, the next team don't see it because it's gonna probably work against somebody else.
Yeah, man. I mean,
that's the best part about it because the TV copy didn't say nothing about it. And so that's good that nobody's seen it.
Yeah, and
we might be ruining a good play, Sam. We might be ruining a good play right now.
But I don't think so, because they ran that play action off of this run that is go. First of all, it was a hellified adjustment because they had run that run play one time in the first half,
right,
and it got 7 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And so, first, I hadn't seen. Maybe Borges has seen them run that run play. So I'll have to ask him. But I was like, what is that?
But it looked good.
Yeah, I was like, what? Is that a split zone? But nah, it's not a split zone. Is that a counter? No, that's not a counter.
It kind of looked like a counter.
It looked like a counter, but it ain't a counter.
Yeah.
It's like a mix of the two plays. What the hell is that? And they was beating the hell out of Michigan State with that play.
Right.
And Michigan State was like, what? They weren't even like, what the hell is that?
Answer. They had no answer.
They had no answer for it. And they set them up for it's like, man, they got to play action that. And when they play action off of that, it was wide open. Wide open to the tight end. So my point is, see, commentators especially only associate sort of like play calling and X's and O's. They only associate it with the passing game.
Right.
They don't really dissect the run game like that. We do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We dive into it. So we see things like that.
Yeah, because you got to see it. You got to know what's going to be effective when you call the play action to it. And what play going draw? And then how many yards did you get on that play?
Oh man,
we watched that. You watched it.
Yeah, man, they ran it like 6 or 7 times in the second half, and it was killing them.
Yeah,
they came out the first play they ran in the second half that we haven't seen them run this season. It was a trap. Went for like out the gate.
Yes.
Hit them for a big play.
Yep.
And then that split, we'll call it like a split counter. I don't know what we want to call it.
It was a split inside zone.
Yeah, whatever that was.
Reed and he went around the ends, and I was like, let's go.
Whatever that was.
I see 1-9 get in the end zone.
Yeah, that they were running that.
He struck his pose. That's what I'm talking about, man. He was making little brother feel little brother.
Yeah,
he was state champs.
They were running that to perfection. And then once they got him leaning, they started, hey man, because they came out and they were running a lot of 11 personnel coming out the gate. They did know the stat on the broadcast.
Right.
But then they started getting heavy again, a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. And now, okay, guess what, y'all? Now we're going to hit y'all. Now we're going to hit you with that play action with one of these tight ends y'all think we just going to run it with. And he was the target, was expected to be the target on the play.
Right.
But it doesn't count as a target because he didn't throw the football. He wound up scrambling on a play with max protection, where it should have been to the tight end.
Should have been wide open. Yeah.
I don't know what you do with that, Lex.
Yeah, this is a play that you've been. It's one of the ones that he gonna get in the film and be like, man, I wish I had that one back. And that's we all have. If you played the quarterback position, you've had those games, you've had those plays, and you just like, if I just trust the process, if I was just seeing that and just made sure I threw that one.
They were the first drive. They were going to go to Marlin in the red zone.
Right.
The play was playing. It was for him.
Yeah.
The second down, the pass play, and you didn't see it because he winds up rolling to his right, and it was going to go back to the left to Marlin, but Marlin got hung up on the play. I don't know if you can't see it on the TV copy.
Yeah.
Really good. He got hung up in the wash. He eventually comes free.
Yep.
But by the time he comes free, I mean, Bryce is all the way the other way, and now, he got people in his face. He can't get back across to the other side. Right. So, just one of those things. So they were plays run for the tight end.
Yeah, they definitely had plays called for the tight end. Yeah. Sometimes it don't work that way, man. You had missed them a couple times. You missed you missed a couple times, and that's what happened. Like I'm feeling like, especially on that one, your favorite play of this weekend is one of the ones that he's gonna be saying like, man, Him and Marlon probably like, hey, yo, I had him too. The safety was in the middle of the field. He had no chance of catching me. This is a touchdown, and he's gonna probably be beating himself up about it. But now later on in the year, hopefully when we get the Buckeyes, that'll be a play that we can call.
Mm-hmm. All right, another super chatter we got to get up here is from Beats in Japan. Hey, you know what? You're a hell of a super chatter, man. We appreciate you. People mad because fans are concerned, but yet Samaj just dropped so many passes and still gets PT. Like, come on, Sharon, too nice.
Wow, man, get out of here, man. Get out of here. I think Samaj, that's gonna happen as a receiver, man. And that drop, he ran a dig route. I seen it. It was a lot of traffic in there. He just got to, focus up and see the ball and catch it. I mean, it was a lot of traffic, but those one of the ones that we know you can make, catch the ball. That's all. I'm not gonna harp on it. Like we know that he can make those catches. So I'm not harping on that, man. I'm not finna continue. He should get no play time. No, I mean they already started putting tight ends. They start adding more tight ends in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So it's already being effective. They already know what they're doing. So you see more Marlon, you see more Marshall, you see more what's the other tight end?
Hogan
Hansen. We start saying Hogan, and so like because I didn't want to mess up his name, but like you see that you start seeing Hogan, and you start having those guys in the game more. So Samaj's gonna understand that he's gonna have to start making those routine plays that he normally makes, and it's gonna happen.
Super chatter, Alan Barnes, 517. Appreciate you. Do y'all think Bryce was just nervous and that caused him to have a shaky game, especially with it being a rivalry game?
A shaky game? I wouldn't say a shaky game. I think it wasn't a shaky game. It was just one of those games that like he got to trust what he sees, and that's what happened. A young quarterback, not the process happened, and it didn't happen how it's supposed to. Wanted to happen. He didn't make the RPOs that he normally throw all year. Like that's what it was. It was the routine plays that he normally make. He didn't make them, and that's okay. That's as a coach, I'm like, all right, hey, let's. Why didn't you do it? Because we know you got. We know you've seen it before. We watched you throw these before. So what happened?
Mm-hmm.
And you talk it out and move forward. We gotta win.
Yeah, you got Purdue at home.
Yep.
That's a team that you should be able to work some things against.
Yeah.
You should be able to work the passing game, work on all of these things that are wrong, work on protections.
Uh-huh.
You should be able to experiment with some things on this team.
Mm-hmm.
NA3 Rock says, one thing that hasn't been mentioned, I'll give Moore his flowers, is how well his team acted on Saturday. MSU tried to get chippy and Michigan stayed calm and collected. You could tell Moore was on them and getting on them for being smart and not doing anything stupid.
I mean, because that's you gotta know. You gotta know, hey, we could rage bait you, we could rage bait them, but hey, we put our hands up. We're not doing nothing. We're not hitting you. We're not getting no stupid penalties. And I think that's the biggest thing. Staying away from that. And but what I would say is, man, this team, Michigan State team, don't have that grittiness that you normally see out of Michigan State. And that was kind of crazy to see. They don't have the grittiness that you normally see Michigan State have in past years, and so it was kind of crazy to see that. What you got?
So listen, I folks, you need to calm down. All right, we can close it down here. Let me make sure there are no more super chatters before I say this is last, because I want to get your commentary, Lace. I want to make sure there are no more super chatters in here. Before I say this is the last question. I don't think there are, because this is a good one. It says, Go Blue ATL says, why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? Sharon needs to go back to calling plays full time and maybe mix in a few of Chip's passing concepts like we did in the second half. That's not what happened in the second half. Go Blue ATL. Sharon didn't call the plays.
You got this one, man. I'm just
Sharon didn't call the plays in the second half. Man, Chip called the plays.
Uh-huh.
What they wound up doing is they wound up leaning into, we got to win this game. Now, I believe that was there some input into hey, what are some of the tweaks we can make at halftime?
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the run plays that might work
Mm-hmm.
best to exploit this team?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, I'm guarantee he has some input.
Oh,
into
for
that.
sure, because he does a good job of adjusting.
Yeah.
I tell it to everybody. He does a good job of adjusting at halftime and saying these are the plays that we need to run.
Yeah, but you got to make a battlefield decision
Mm-hmm.
as a play caller. I'm saying this based on talking to play callers.
Mm-hmm.
I've never called plays.
Mm-hmm.
I come at this from a position as being a fan, and I react to things emotionally too. Why isn't this working? Why isn't that working?
Mm-hmm.
I referenced this story quite a bit of watching back in 21, Michigan play Wisconsin. And in the first half of the game, Gaddis had dialed up, and then we were breaking it down with Devin. We had to take the film study down, or I would bring it up. At the time, I know he's your guy. I hate to bring it up. But QB leaves literally 3 touchdowns on the field in the first half of that game. I mean, it's like glaring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow. Why can't he see? I mean, you got a tight end on the scene.
Yeah.
I mean, there's 3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
These are great play calls. What are you gonna do?
Trust the process,
right?
Man. Some guys, their eyes not in the right position.
Right. And so talked to Gaddis after the game because he wound up doing some different things. They ran the football more in the second half. And talking to him later, you go back to the Washington game, you watch how many times they ran the football against Washington, same thing against Rutgers. And he said, listen, I can get caught up in, hey, he's missing these plays, or I can get caught up in what I got to do to win the game.
We gotta keep our jobs.
I can get caught up in how it looks, or I can get caught up in getting the W. So people say a lot of things about Gaddis, but I learned something that day.
Right.
About, hey man, you got a lot of play callers that get caught up in the vanity of the position. You get a lot of play callers get caught up in the ego of the position. It's about my stuff and not about the players and what they can do.
When you do that, that's when you lose a lot of people.
Or it's not about, hey, the bottom line to get the W.
You ain't winning. You start losing games when you think your plays is supposed to be the best plays, and you ain't doing what's best for the team. You ain't doing what's best for the personnel. Woo.
Hey man,
it's some bad trouble.
Hey man, if I'm caught up in, hey man, he missed that touchdown, I'm gonna call that again.
No,
and hit that touchdown the next time. Or guess what? Let's run this rock and get this W, and we'll work on that in practice and work on it against an opponent in a more comfortable scenario next week.
Because we need to win. We can't lose against Michigan State. We can't lose against these certain players. Certain teams we can't lose against. And so certain teams we don't have the leeway to not take profits and win each play. So sometimes you gotta, hey, if we run the ball well, let's run the ball well. He missed a pass play. Whoop-de-doo. But we gotta win the game.
Because here's misconception.
We gotta win the game.
Tight ends, there were plays called for the tight end.
For sure. There was plays called for the bubble route.
There were bubbles that were called in this game.
RPOs.
Those were all in the arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
The passes weren't thrown to the tight end. The bubbles weren't thrown in this game. They just weren't. There were things that weren't executed well. Now, were there some plays from a play call perspective that they do need to analyze? We talked about those.
Right.
I think I'm a novice. I think that, hey, man, if they aren't reacting to nakeds with Bryce Underwood and the running backs you have, I think you got to look at either somehow you're tipping your hand. Either they got your signals, or you need to look at, man, I'm naked and from pistol, and this is not
It's not efficient.
It's not efficient. It's not eliciting the kind of
It's
reaction
not
that I need. We need to get under center for this play.
Yeah, it's not. You got to be efficient with that. With the. We got our running backs are too good not to be benefit from the play action. We got to start benefit. We got to at least start having at least 2 or 3 big plays from the play action. At least 2. Because if you got 2 running backs rush for 100 yards, you got a running back every game he done played and he rushed for 100 yards. Your play action is your best friend.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be Bryce's best friend. The play action, and the thing about, and people always be like, "Oh, Denard, you why are you saying this? Get on the center." I'm like, I played on the center, and I did like playing on the center. You know why I like playing on the center? It helps with my timing, and it helped with play action, getting the defenders to come up, because I could sell that ball being gone, the run play. And when I tell you, because now let's give the DBs a second to look in the backfield and see where that ball is at and thinking it's a run play. And once I do that and I beat them with timing, I could throw a bang 8, I could throw a H2 curl to my X, and it's on time because now the DB probably looked in the backfield just for a hit, and now I'm throwing it. I got it. He got now he's looking at my receiver. My receiver already got him, thinking him going deep, and now his eyes in the backfield. We run a curl route or we run a bang 8 and it's getting hit. So that's the biggest thing for me is when you have that type of effect on the DBs, it becomes those big explosive plays.
Yeah, so they gotta fix that from a coaching perspective.
For sure.
They gotta work on turning the protection. That's another thing they gotta work on with him. That's a big adjustment coming out of this game. Knowing the protection.
Knowing the protection. Knowing where you're gonna be, knowing how to get yourself to where your offense is a hat for a hat when they blitz and wherever they're coming from. You got a hat for a hat. Everybody's accounted for, and I can make the throw.
Right. And so, you work on those things and hopefully that'll get him back on track. And get not just him, get the passing game back on track for the Purdue game. These next 3 weeks are huge heading into Ohio State. But yes, the film study will be back for 1 week. All right, we're going to break down this game to give the folks some knowledge. And it's really thanks to the super chats that's going to help us, and the fact that there's a lot of, I think, misconceptions out there, those 2 things. So we'll film study this game. So just for this week, we're going to do the film study. The film study is needed, they say. We'll get it. And Denard, they say, can we get a film study with Denard?
Oh, for sure.
If we can get him in here with Borges, we'll try to make it happen and get Denard in on the film study too. All right. Yeah, so thank you to all you viewers. Thank you to all you super chatters. You really help make it go. And we'll get a film study in this week. That way you'll be able to educate the folks who are making a lot of uneducated comments about this game. All right. We appreciate it. See you next time on the next edition of the Monday Morning Quarterback. We'll see you then.